Hello and welcome to Midshelf Gaming's first E3 sit-together talk about the conferences, TM. This is Will, your host today with Midshelf, and we're going to be going through the conferences for E3, kind of in order, talk about some of our hopes, some of our predictions, and just kind of general E3 discussions here. I do want to introduce our other members here today, which we have Ryan.
What up, everybody?
And we have Edwin.
Hey, what's up?
Great. So thanks for joining me, guys. Again, we're just going to be kind of talking about some of the stuff with E3, just kind of going through the conferences, because we haven't really had a chance to kind of talk about all the E3 upcoming news together.
Yeah, that sounds good, but I got a question. I don't know what an E3 is, Will.
Huh? E3 stands for Electronic...
Entertainment
Expo.
Boutique.
Thank you. So, yes, E3's been going on since, 95, I want to say. Basically, just, the biggest thing of the year where everyone talks about all the big gaming news with all the big companies like Microsoft, Nintendo, Ubisoft, etc.
More or less. And if you don't know what E3 is, why are you watching this?
E3 hasn't been as good since 1995.
The first one?
Yeah, that's where they announced the Saturn and PS1.
How do you match that?
You remember that, impromptu Saturn announcement that pissed off every third-party developer because they were like, wait, why are we announcing this
Oh, that
now?
didn't just piss off every third-party developer, but every retailer as well.
Yeah, because they weren't ready. It was really funny. That was also the one that they announced, it's available today, right?
That's the one where Sony walks up to the conference. All they say is $2.99 and walk off.
Oh, yeah, that was...
E3 used to have, so much, junk talk going back and forth.
Back when everyone did conferences.
Enough of reminiscing about E3. Let's go on with this E3.
Very true. E3 nowadays is very press conference-y. So we'll just be going through the order of the schedule. And kind of just talk about what we expect to be there and some predictions and whatnot. So the first one on the list is actually EA. Now, EA is not having an official conference this year, which some other companies aren't this year either. But they are doing some sort of live stream type thing called EA Play.
Most companies don't even do a live conference anymore. Nintendo hasn't done one for years at this point, and Sony's not doing one this year either. So it's
Yes, a lot of companies are kind of dropping the ball. Well, that's the wrong phrase to say, but more so just...
They're changing their tactic.
Basically.
They're following Nintendo's approach because they see that it's been successful and they're like, why are we going to pay so much money to have...
to rent the stage.
Exactly.
Yeah. And especially E3 is becoming more and more of a public convention as well. They recently opened it up to the public, I want to say last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was one of those.
So it's been kind of changing these last couple of years. But again, it's still the season for news and announcements. So.
Yeah. Jesse was telling me the other day, apparently, we've been binging the old E3 conferences for Nintendo and just being like, oh man, remember Reggie? And he told me apparently somebody he knew said that they were at the 3DS launch and got to play it. And I was like, Jesse, they lied to you. That was a press event. You had to be either a YouTube gamer or somebody important enough to be invited to E3 when the 3DS was announced.
Maybe his dad was Nintendo and that's how he got in.
Yeah, his dad's not Nintendo, but yeah.
Great.
So EA though, I hate that company.
I'm sure most people have a
have a similar sentiment.
Yeah.
But you have nostalgia for them.
Oh, for sure. They used to be incredible. But the only thing that I can really think that they might announce this year is a new FIFA game, which is probably going to happen.
New FIFA, new Madden.
Yeah, all the new, EA Sports games. And probably they'll give more details about Fallen Jedi because I think that's supposed to come this year.
That's the only thing.
There are a few guarantees in life. And one of them is we're getting a new sports game every year.
Yeah. Which is fine. I mean, they make a lot of money for those type of crowds, so it's totally fine.
I mean, I don't care about sports games personally. But, Fallen Jedi, I'm actually excited for that. I hope it's good. But EA has let me down before, so I remain skeptical until I actually see, the actual gameplay rather than just a cinematic trailer.
Yeah, I hope we get a gameplay trailer.
All I know is I'd rather have any other company than EA to have a Star Wars license. But this is the world we live in.
Yeah. I actually enjoyed Battlefront 2. Granted, I paid $4 for it. But
you gave money to EA?
Barely.
$4.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
That's a huge...
That's
a loss for them.
That's more than I have.
Yeah.
Good.
But that game was actually good, but it was too little too late, and it was 2 years after the launch that it was actually playable. But
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm wondering if we'll get another Star Wars game. Like, maybe they'll announce Battlefront 3?
Or something.
I
would like that.
I'd love to see a new Burnout from EA.
Ooh, Burnout would be good.
Criterion's just mostly been helping out with Need for Speed recently, so I don't know.
But they did release the remake of Burnout Paradise recently.
That's true. So
perhaps that was heading towards something new.
Other thing that I'm kind of expecting. Do you remember when Battlefront 2 was announced and they did the "We heard your criticism"?
Oh, yes.
I'm kind of expecting a similar thing for Anthem because the Anthem launch has been
not
abysmal.
The best.
I've heard that it's already lost a lot of its player base.
Oh, it's lost all of its player base, basically.
I do not keep up with Anthem because BioWare is basically dead to me after Mass Effect. They killed my boy.
One of my friends, he wanted so badly for Anthem to be good that he, like, kept on defending it, and we were just like, Alex, the game is bad. Just accept your loss. You bet on the wrong horse. And he is just like, yeah, I went in the other day and there's nobody online.
He's one of the suckers that paid $60 for it.
Yeah.
I mean, things happen. Mm-hmm. But going back with BioWare real quick, because of course there's been those news recently about just the studio and the conditions with the developers working there and everything.
Yeah, that was bad. I was sad to hear about that.
I'm curious to see if maybe we'll get even showing anything from them. Like Anthem, sure, because it's still like relatively fresh, but maybe something along the lines of possibly news on the new Dragon Age. We know it's been kind of in the works, but we don't think we really know anything concrete about it.
No, we don't know anything concrete, but yeah, I would probably expect at this point that we'll hear something about Dragon Age. And
is it 4 or is Inquisition technically 4? I don't play the series.
I think
so I don't know.
would be its own thing. Otherwise, they would have branded Inquisition separately.
Yeah,
that's true.
I thought Inquisition was 3.
Well,
yeah,
I know nothing about Dragon Age.
Anyway,
well, apparently none of us like Dragon Age, so moving on.
Yeah, let's talk about Microsoft. They're next. And last year, they had a pretty stellar conference. Even though I'm not a huge Microsoft fan, they announced a lot of partnerships with all these other third-party studios that they now own, like Ninja Theory was one of them. Yeah. The other two game companies I don't remember, but I'm hoping we'll see whatever projects that they'll be working on, since that was last year.
If I recall correctly, they debuted with Halo Infinite. Yeah. I'm almost certain we're going to get more info about that.
And Master Chief Collection's coming to Steam as well, right?
See, we're either going to see that at Microsoft or at the PC Gaming Show, which we'll get to later. But, like, I'm not really sure which one will get that. But the beta for Reach, I think they're starting with Reach, was supposed to be, like, really soon. Okay. So it got delayed because they were like, we want to make it good. And I was like, yes, make it good. I'm in no rush to play this. Like, I would love to, but make it good. Otherwise, it's just going to suck.
Right.
All right. The big question is Xbox going to announce a new console?
Oh, that is interesting.
I don't know. I don't think that's the year for this.
I think the Xbox One is at the end of its cycle.
Oh, it's definitely at the end of its cycle. If it doesn't happen this year, it'll happen next year.
When did the newest iteration come out? Like the S, I think it was?
The X.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
When was that?
About 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2-3 years ago.
Because I know with PS5 rumors going about, like, this current generation is almost towards its end. Maybe we'll get something, especially because it's a good opportunity since Sony won't officially be here.
Isn't it Project Scorpio or something like that?
That's what
that was the Xbox One was.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't think this one... I don't think they've talked about...
I think they're going to end it with a new console announcement.
Or
perhaps they might give us a time frame of when it's going to come out.
Typically, if they do a console announcement, they center the conference around it. Like, they'll show off all the detail about it.
Not necessarily.
If it's in beta, then they won't, but I don't think they'll announce it until it's ready.
They could just be like hey, it's coming soon.
Exactly.
They'll probably make a nod to it, but we know there's the next console.
They're probably
coming.
just going to say, hey guys, we're going to make a new console.
Yeah.
Just to get some hype around it.
I don't think we'll get anything big for it.
The one thing I'm really excited for Microsoft, I know that coming out of my mouth, is actually update on the Battletoads project. I would love to see what's going on with that.
Yeah. The one thing I would love to see from Microsoft more than anything is a new Rare game. Like
Battletoads.
Right, like Battletoads, but like an old style Rare game. Like, give me Banjo 3.
I think Banjo 3 is almost a certainty.
You think so, really?
I believe Banjo's coming to Smash.
We'll get to Smash. Yeah, we'll get to Smash.
Yeah, but I think they're going to tie it in, especially with how much Nintendo and Microsoft have been working together recently.
The fact that the Xbox Live is now on Switch.
That's also going to boost sales for a new Banjo game if they do release it.
Do you think that if Banjo is in Smash, and a slight tangent, do you think they would announce it at Microsoft conference? Or do you think Nintendo would want to have it for Nintendo?
No, they would definitely announce it at Nintendo.
They would announce a new Banjo game for the Microsoft one, which I do believe they're going to announce a new Banjo game.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But
I would like that.
They would save the Banjo announcement for the Nintendo conference.
You do know, like, whatever Smash DLC comes is going to be the tail end of the Nintendo conference.
Sure. Unless they open with it, I would be okay with that.
I'd be okay with that, but I don't expect that. But the other thing is, like, I've been hearing rumors about a Scalebound revival. Like, Scalebound, for those of you who don't know, was like It was a launch project for the Xbox One and was one of the only titles that actually had me excited for that console. And then when it got canceled, I was just like, well, I'm never buying an Xbox One.
It's developed by Platinum Games, and I know that the director had previously said that he really wanted to release the game and revisit it.
We know Platinum's already working not only on Bayonetta 3, but Astral Chain now. So maybe an announcement, but
like, I don't remember... I read a thing, like, what the actual reason for the cancellation was, and they said it wasn't because of Microsoft, like, it was because of Platinum. So, like, I can hope, but, like, if it is going to be announced, I feel like at this point it would probably be announced as, like, a multi-platform thing, just so they can get funding from, like, everybody to do it. But that's just a dream of mine, because that game looked really good, and I like Monster Hunter, which is basically fighting dragons, and this looked very similar. So,
yeah, for sure.
I'm kind of hoping for that.
Do you think they're going to push... Microsoft Game Pass at this E3.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard, but recently Microsoft Game Pass is coming to PC. And I believe, I'm not certain, but I think it might have crossplay with Xbox One users.
That would be, yeah, I did hear something about that. Because Sony has their thing. Everybody forgets that you can, like, play PlayStation games on your PC. You just have to have PlayStation View or PlayStation Now. It's one of their PlayStation things. They have so many
PlayStation
names.
Now.
It is PlayStation Now, yeah. They have so many things, and they're all called PlayStation X. And
it's
I'm just
good branding. Like, everyone recognizes it.
But it is, but they need to make it more.
No one uses it because it's twice as expensive as Game Pass.
Right. Like, it's not a good service, but it's possible. But, like, with that existing, it's not unheard of to have, like, a console thing on PC.
Right.
Yeah, I know they've been pushing it recently, especially with the new Xbox model that came out recently that doesn't even have a disc drive.
Oh, that's right. That did come out. So that's like the Game Pass console then, if you would use
Exactly. I think they bundle it with Game Pass.
Yeah. Okay. Was it Sony that recently said, like, their consoles will always have a disc drive or, like, you know, physical thing?
I haven't heard of anything of the sort.
We'll talk about PS5 stuff when we get to the Sony portion, because there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about with Sony at E3 later on. But I guess we're good to move on to Bethesda next.
Yeah.
So Bethesda, we'll just put it out there right now. Todd Howard already said that we're going to see...
Todd Howard.
You respect the Todd. Mr. Howard already said that we're not going to see any updates for Starfield or Elder Scrolls 6.
Let me interrupt you. Did you buy Fallout 76 at launch?
We'll talk about Fallout in just a bit, Edwin.
Answer my question.
I did. And I don't regret it. I regret it every night of my life.
He cries himself to sleep.
Fallout is one of my favorite game series of all time, and I've had fun with it with friends, but as we all know, the horror stories about its launch and its updates and its bugs and everything that makes it a Bethesda game.
Yeah. Except this time it was bad enough to actually ruin the game.
But I'm sure we'll see some update with, because they do have like a roadmap with more content coming to the game. I've hardly paid attention to it, honestly, because I only play with a smaller group of my friends.
So what should have been out at launch?
Maybe, possibly.
I'm honestly kind of wondering if they're going to be like, so we're basically going to relaunch Fallout 76 to make up for what we did last year.
Fallout 77?
I mean, it was situations where, like, they would give updates that had, like, just simple options in the option menu. They didn't add until, like, so late in the game. Like, why was this not a feature in the beginning?
Wasn't there, like, a thing at launch where you couldn't turn off your mic until you made your character?
Yes. You couldn't access the options until after you got out of the character creation of the vault. So if you're in a server with like 14 other people that you don't even know, but like the local mic feature is on, you can just hear everyone just yelling at you while you're making your character. It's great.
God, it's just... Man. But I'm kind of... Yeah, I'm expecting to see like the status of Fallout 76 where they're like, they'll talk about it, try to hype up, like, we did a great job, and then everybody's going to be like, no, you did not.
I think it's going to be more of kind of the opposite. Well, Bethesda's going to be focusing more on their other properties, not so much like Bethesda developed games. Like, we already know at the conference there's going to be a huge display for the new Doom game, Doom Eternal.
Yes, I'm excited for that.
I'm sure they're going to show a lot more of like id Software.
They'll probably
some other properties.
Can we go back quickly to Fallout?
Yeah.
I think they're going to announce Fallout for Switch.
I would buy it.
I would buy it in a heartbeat.
I would buy it in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah. No question.
Any Fallout game.
Oh, yeah. Well, because we already have Skyrim, it's like, give me Fallout 3 or New Vegas.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Or give me, like,
they would
the Fallout
probably do 3 since,
because it's the same
Well,
engine.
they'd start it, but it's like, give me, like, the 3 in New Vegas, like, collection, if they can do that, because I know they are, like, technically slightly different engines.
But they own the IP. So
well, no, they own the IP.
I'm sure they own the rights to distribute
I'm saying, like, tech-wise, is it possible to put, like, games that have, like, different engines or stuff on it?
I swear to God, if they do...
Just leave it up to Panic Button. They do such a good job porting a bunch of games.
That's true.
If they do, like, one of the situations, like, oh, here's Fallout 3 on the Switch cart and then a download code for New Vegas, I would scream. Because, companies like Capcom in particular does that all the time to bother you.
They just
so
want
much.
to cheap out on the cartridges.
I want somebody to finally release a 2-cartridge thing.
That'd be so cool.
Like, yeah.
I get, like, GameCube flashbacks.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about.
Nice.
But, like, the other thing I'm excited for, it's out by this point, is, Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Oh, yeah.
That's the new installment in Wolfenstein where you play as BJ's daughters. Which I'm a little annoyed just as, like, a kid who grew up with Wolfenstein. Like, so my dad told me growing up that, like, when he was playing Wolfenstein 3D, like, I wasn't even born yet. So, like, I've been watching that game since I was, like, a fetus. I really like the Wolfenstein series, so I'm kind of a little annoyed that it wasn't BJ that toppled the Nazi Empire, and it's gonna be, like, his children, which the game looks good, but I'm just like, man, you couldn't have, like, had a third game where BJ, like, topples the Nazi Empire, and then you, like, play his daughters doing, like, fighting the Nazi resistance or something.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just a small grief with me, but, like, other than that, like, I'm hoping that it has something else, because, like, their games have all been, like, incredible.
Yeah. Other than, like, doing anything like, why am I blanking? Doom and Wolfenstein and, like, id Software, what else? Because they have, like, Arcane Studios for, what's it called? Dishonored. I don't know if we're getting any more Dishonored news or anything else that studio's
I don't think Dishonored did really well. Dishonored 2. I don't think Dishonored 2 did very well.
It has a good, like, cult status as a game series.
I remember when it came out.
It's going to remain as.
Probably.
That's the problem. Like, I remember when it came out, it was, like, really good. Like, I really enjoyed it, but then it just, like, fell off after, like, a couple months, and then Dishonored 2 came out, and, nobody really talked about it that much.
I forgot about it until you mentioned it.
Right. Do you guys know of any other possible game series or projects that Bethesda kind of oversees?
They're not one of my favorites. So
Bethesda does, like, Fallout and Elder Scrolls, which is, like, what I love. But, like, other than that, they do have the id Software license, which I, like, love. But other than that, no, I don't really know too much about what they do.
Wild prediction, Evil Within 3.
Okay. I don't care about
the only other thing from Bethesda I can think of right now.
One other prediction I have, Fallout VR.
Fallout 4 already has VR.
Yeah, that exists.
I can't believe I called it.
Dan, you're so smart, dude.
Yeah, the only other thing the only other thing I'm probably expecting, I don't even care about this game, is they'll probably announce, like, Rage 2 DLC.
Oh yeah, Rage 2 did just come out, and I don't think anyone cared at all either.
No, I remember their conference last year, like, kind of annoyed me because they spent, like 10 minutes having, like, a Rage heavy metal concert, and I was like, this is cool, but, like, I don't care about this at all.
So much money for marketing for
that's
that.
That's a good
game.
point you bring up, is, like, the last conference had that music performance, it had, like, this whole Sony thing where it had, like, all those
Dude, say what you want about that. That was amazing.
It was great, but don't get me wrong, but, like, there was a lot of music at E3 in general.
It's because they were trying to up the showmanship, and, like, I think they realized nobody gives a crap. Like, everybody is there for games. They don't really want that much showmanship. Like, looking back at Nintendo's old stuff, they had no showmanship. Those conferences were boring.
Right? There's like, hey guys, here's a new console.
Here's
Yeah.
a bunch
like
of business
this.
numbers.
Yeah,
Exactly.
pretty much.
I want
they were
that
they
back.
were like, I mean, I enjoyed them, but like looking back compared to what we have now, they were so dull. Like they had nothing except for people just talking about games and not even really showing gameplay that much.
They had Reggie saying my body is ready.
Yeah,
That's true. But
Not boring.
I think we're good to go to the next conference, which is the Devolver Digital show. Now,
I actually had one last thought about
Okay, sorry.
Bethesda. I think they'll probably give us more details because they talked about this last year on the Elder Scrolls mobile game.
oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And then maybe ESO for Kyle. Shout out to Kyle.
They'll probably announce like a new expansion for ESO. I don't know how long they plan on supporting that, but
Anyway, Devolver Digital, they are the ones that have kind of really out there
their
preferences.
shows are weird.
I know I've never really watched them, but so I don't really have too many thoughts about what we're going to be seeing from.
I like a lot of their games.
Their games are great, but like I watched their show last year and I was just like, what the hell is this? Like they dismembered a guy in the middle of it and he like threw money into his computer and like got shot or something.
Nice.
It's like it was so bizarre.
It seems like the Adult Swim of E3 conferences.
Basically, but Devolver is great. Like their games are incredible. I just have they don't have any like real IPs, so I can't predict anything for them. But they'll probably announce a fair amount of things.
I'm sure.
Like
They'll probably show off Shakedown Miami.
Okay.
Or Shakedown Hawaii, the spiritual sequel to
Hotline Miami.
Why are they changing
No,
the name?
it's a spiritual sequel to the Retro Rampage.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Retro-
But it's
yeah,
supposed to be
Retro
like
City.
Hotline
Yeah,
Miami?
Yeah,
What?
Is it supposed to be like Hotline Miami? Or
No, it's like
he said
Is
Miami, so my mind got on that.
I meant to say Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's more of like a 16-bit GTA.
Gotcha. That's
Yeah.
cool.
I'd like to see like a new Ruiner. I know recently they released Katana Zero.
Katana Zero is great, and I have thoughts on that in a little while.
What else have Devolver been involved with?
A lot.
It's a lot of like smaller.
They'll
They
probably-
do a
yeah,
lot of
think
indie
about.
development.
Yeah, they'll probably release stuff that down the road I'll probably play for like $10 and really like. So I'll definitely keep an eye out for their press conference.
Yeah. So we can also look real briefly as well at the PC gaming show. Now, this is another conference I typically don't really watch,
Me
especially
neither.
because I didn't really get a good computer until relatively recently.
I don't really watch it unless I'm like not doing anything.
I think they mostly show off like graphics cards and like tech stuff, if I remember correctly.
No, that's not entirely true. They do talk a little bit about that, but they do show off like a fair amount of gameplay.
Okay.
Like I think this year they'll probably show off VR more than anything because, you know, Quest is a thing. And I think they'll probably talk about Half-Life VR and like if Valve could finally get back in the game, that would make me happy.
Maybe.
They're
But-
making too much money with Steam.
I
Why
know.
would they?
Well, because they
There-
have a development team still.
There was a very famous AMA that Gabe Newell did on Reddit like 4 years ago, and he was like, yeah, Valve has like 2 games in development right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure one of them was Artifact,
Mhm.
and the other one's probably like Half-Life VR or something, so he's probably just memeing with us.
Well, Half-Life VR is confirmed to be a thing. Like, it's not a Half-Life 3 joke. Like, that is happening.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, I'm
Where's
just...
Artifact 2? All their
Nowhere.
games have a 2.
And then they stop.
And
Yeah.
then they stop.
No, they literally are afraid of the number 3. They literally released Half-Life 2.2 before releasing anything else. Like,
If anyone could get a dream, if they had to have one Valve 3 game, which 3 game would you choose?
Left 4 Dead.
honestly, like, the meme is Half-Life 3, but, like, I did replay, Black Mesa Source recently, so like I'm kind of jonesing for a new Half-Life, but in all honesty, I want Portal 3.
I was gonna say my answer is probably Portal. Half-Life, like definitely deserves a proper ending.
Yeah,
But I think Portal is more of a prominent and unique game, especially today.
for sure, and it's good. Like Portal
Absolutely.
2 was amazing, and Portal 1 was literally like based off of a mod, effectively.
Mhm.
But the funny thing about Half-Life 2 Episode 3, it did get a proper ending, quote unquote. The
Oh,
writer,
that's right, yeah.
the writer for it released a slash fic on his personal website that was like a gendered bent universe where the entire plot was what Half-Life 2 Episode 3 would have been.
I remember that because it was like the names were like just very slightly different.
Yeah. Like I think Gordon Freeman was Morgan Freeman.
But yeah, the other thing I'd want to mention, because I'm not exactly sure where at E3 this will show up. Last year it was at Xbox, but updates on Cyberpunk 2077. Because everyone is begging for that.
That game is honestly becoming like a meme of its own because...
It's the next Duke Nukem Forever.
Honestly, kinda.
I mean, it's... why am I blanking on the name of the people who make that game? They're fantastic. CD Projekt Red.
There you go.
So, like, they did, of course, The Witcher, and they run GOG, if you don't know.
Yeah.
They are, I think, a fantastic company, and, like, they're hyping it up. Also, the box art and, like, the standards in the game apparently got leaked a couple days ago, so we know what the box art looks like, so maybe we'll get a release date.
I do think that game's gonna live up to the hype, though.
Honestly, yeah.
It will.
CD Projekt Red is not disappointed yet. I don't see why they would now.
Nah, it's just like, when you talk about something too early, you can kill the hype for it.
See Bethesda.
Yeah.
Well, everyone that I know that's hyped for it, they've always been hyped, and that hype doesn't die down.
No.
Are we going to see this at PC Gamer Show, or do you think Microsoft has a continuing deal to have it at their conference?
I think probably Microsoft.
Since it is a really big title, and something that Microsoft wants to show off.
Okay, one quick thing. Does everyone think we're going to see a car on stage for Forza?
No.
Ooh, no car?
I have no idea.
I don't think they'll go that big this year.
Generally, that's like in the past they've had like, oh, here's a car on stage because new Forza. Or so we're having no from Ryan.
Yeah.
I'm going to say yes, we're bringing the car back.
They're going to show off the new Hot Wheels line of Forza cars.
Hell yeah.
That'd be great, honestly.
Okay, so going on now, the next one is one I think we're all pretty excited about, and that's the Limited Run Games conference. So we already know that the Limited Run Games folks are announced that they're going to be showing the final batch of their physical Vita games.
Yeah, I do have some predictions for that.
So what do you think? Because you're like our Vita resident expert here.
See, I don't know like Vita.
I know for sure we're probably going to get Stardew Valley.
Oh, I would buy that.
Did that not already happen?
A physical only on PS4, if I recall correctly, not on Vita.
Okay,
I think
It was released. It was released last year on Vita, like that late.
Okay,
Okay.
I would buy that.
Also, Fez. That's my dream game that I would like to see get a physical.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that.
I mean, I hate Phil Fish, but
I hate Phil Fish too, but I'm gonna have to disagree with you because of Phil Fish.
Money.
But yeah.
But no, he gave a giant middle finger to the gaming community when he rage quit. God knows how many years ago at this point that was. That was a long time ago.
I would not be surprised if it's more than 10 years ago at this point.
It was a really long time ago because Fez was 2011, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But when Fez 2 came out, people started flaming him online, which yes, don't do that, but also he responded the way you shouldn't respond by responding.
He's an idiot.
But he rage quit the gamer community as a whole. I don't think he'll give us the satisfaction of having
I'm sure Limited Run is also going to announce Transistor physical.
Oh, I could go with my Bastion.
Yeah. I definitely think they'll... I want them to announce Pyre. That'd be nice. But I don't know if that's on Vita. But in general, I want them to announce that.
Does anyone have kind of a one game, an indie game in general, on any console that you'd want to have Limited Run do a physical release for?
I don't have one.
Katana Zero?
Yeah, Katana Zero. I just played through that, and my god, that game is good. I would pay for a physical release for that in a heartbeat. It was just so much fun. And I played through it twice because I had heard there were multiple endings, and I failed to get the second ending, but I know what I did wrong at this point, but it's fun. It's a very good game, and once you get good at it, it feels incredible.
I can't think of any one game in particular, but just anything they announced for Switch. I already have a handful of their Switch titles, and because a lot of the Switch indies kind of get lost in the shuffle on the eShop a lot, I think. So it's a good way to get more recognition as well when Limited Run announces these.
They're more selective with what they release, so you're going to probably get quality.
Exactly.
That's what I like. We got Bloodstained, and I love that game. I hope that we get a robot named Fight, which is we talked about.
Isn't that by Devolver? It is.
No, that's an indie developer named Matt.
No, I
something.
think it's been published by Devolver though.
Oh, okay. If it is, that's great. But that's basically a roguelike Metroidvania, which we talked about a couple of those on our Metroidvania episode.
That'd be great.
And This one is literally Metroid, though, but I played it a couple weeks ago on my friend's computer, and it's so good. And you can get it on Switch. But, like, I want that game physical. And also, I really want them to finally release The Mummy Demastered physically.
Oh, that could probably get a physical.
Yeah, because that game was great.
Especially since Limited Run has a good reputation with Way Forward.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think they've released, like, quite a few Way Forward games already on Switch that are, like, really good.
Pretty much all the Shantaes.
Yeah.
Keep that train going.
There's, like, I don't really know what I would want them to announce for PS4 because I don't really know what there is to announce for PS4, honestly. Yeah. Like, anytime they announce a PS4 limited run, like, they just had Psychonauts this past Friday, and I was like, wait, that can be on PS4?
I was not expecting that, but that's a good point to bring up, too, is eventually we'll probably see something with Psychonauts 2 at E3. Because that's been in development for a while. Maybe PC Gamer Show for that one. I'm not really too sure.
Maybe I don't know where that would go, but we'll put that under etc.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you want the dream game for Limited Run to release a Hat in Time?
Oh, that's a good one.
Thank you.
That's my number one now. Thank you.
I want a Hat in Time physically on Switch, and I think that they are talking about that because Gears for Breakfast has been talking a lot about the Switch release lately. They said it's gonna come bundled with everything, which if you know Limited Run, like
they're definitely doing a collector's edition with a bunch of goodies.
Oh, they always do a collector's edition, but I'm not even talking about that. Like, I pre-ordered Celeste like months ago.
Oh, me too, yeah.
And the only reason we haven't gotten it yet is because they're waiting to put all of the DLC on the physical cartridge. And they want to actually, because they said like physical is forever, we don't want you to have to download DLC separately because eventually it might be gone. We want you to be able to play like the DLC, everything. Like the Hollow Knight one has all of the DLC packs on the physical edition, like stuff like that. But Hat in Time, they have mentioned it. They have not ruled out a physical release, whether it's through Limited Run or otherwise. But yeah, give me that game.
That'd be good.
The other one I want, but I don't think it'll happen for Switch unless we actually get... Rewinding to Microsoft real quick, if we do continue on like the partnership with Nintendo, I want them to release Ori on the Switch and get a physical.
I think that was already rumored. It was Ori and it was another game.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Was it Valiant Hearts maybe?
Yeah, well, because we got Cuphead. Like, Cuphead was an Xbox and PC exclusive. So now it's not.
Limited Run release Cuphead.
Even if it's just the first Ori game, because I haven't played either of them, and I really want to. So.
Oh wow, we're forgetting one game, Hyper Light Drifter.
Drifter.
It has a physical through i8
Yes,
bits.
that's the one I have on PS4.
I don't think
Switch
no
release.
Switch, exactly.
That's a good one.
I don't know if they could do it if that would be like stepping on IM8-bit's toes.
No,
it wouldn't be.
No, exactly, because I know that IM8-bit have sold Limited Run collector's editions in the past. So
yes, they have like variant covers and everything. As well.
All of the Limited Run companies like Special Reserve and stuff, they've been working together lately. Like
because they all care about having games be physical for preservation.
Right, like that's what I love about that company. Like Edwin and I don't know if you have, but Edwin and I have gone to Limited Run.
I've been with Edwin before. That's when we got the hats.
Right, yeah, of course.
Shout out to Limited Run, you guys are great.
But yeah, they're really nice guys. Like they love to talk about games, and like you can actually see that they are passionate about what they do.
So I'm excited for that conference as a whole. It'll be great. But moving on to the next one, Ubisoft. So Ubisoft has a lot of properties. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to be showing, but I believe the main focus is going to be Beyond Good and Evil 2, because they had a huge reveal trailer, either last E3 or the one before that. Everyone's really excited for this game. It looks fantastic, like graphically speaking, very different than the original. So I believe it's a prequel. I've never played the first one, but I feel like that's going to be the main focus that everyone's looking for, is going to be Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah, Ubisoft, they'll probably announce something related to Far Cry. They'll probably announce the next Assassin's Creed game.
Can we talk about Splinter Cell?
I was about to get to that. So, screw you to the developer who decided to, like, tease us on Twitter, because that wasn't funny. That was just annoying.
For those who don't know, one of the game directors of the Splinter Cell series said, "Hey guys, a new Splinter Cell's coming." Changed his picture on Twitter to, like, the Splinter Cell, like, 3-dot logo and everything. And then later was like, took it down and was like, "Oh, sorry, I was just joking."
Yeah, and that's what honestly kind of makes me think that he wasn't, and they were just like, you can't talk about that right now.
They're probably going to announce it.
Yeah, because that if you do like a bad joke like that, it just pisses people off. And because Splinter Cell, like, I love Splinter Cell, and like all my friends who have also played Splinter Cell love Splinter Cell. So teasing us like that is only going to serve to piss us off.
Yeah, and especially because they've got the voice actor for Sam Fisher to go in that Ghost Recon Wildlands event like last year or like a couple months ago.
It was last year, yeah.
So I was like, oh, they got the voice actor back. Maybe they got a contract with him or something. But we haven't really heard much except for that Twitter debacle. So
yeah, because the last game we got was Blacklist, which, by the way, fantastic game.
I heard that was mixed. I mean, I haven't played the games too much. I heard people kind of felt iffy on that one because of how it changed the series a bit.
Here's the thing. It did not change the series. Conviction changed the series.
Maybe I'm thinking of that one.
But Conviction was also great. It's just like, it was so different from like Double Agent and like Pandora, Tomorrow, and Chaos Theory, which are all the best games in the series in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But Blacklist took what Conviction did and just did it a little bit better.
Okay.
So like, I really liked it.
It'll probably be good.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I'm looking to maybe see is any sort of news on Rainbow Six Siege. I'm a big Rainbow Six Siege fan, so I know that game's been pretty big. It's still getting all its content updates and everything. The game's
I'm not really sure, I play Rainbow Six with Will as well, but like, I'm not really sure what more we could get because we already know who the new ops are.
It's just the beginning of the new year, though.
So it is, but like,
roadmap and everything.
Do you think they'll announce like anything like down the line?
They've been focusing a lot more recently on the esports side of things. I believe if we do have anything for it, it would be kind of showing off like either the rest of the roadmap for the year. Mm-hmm. We already know there's going to be new map reworks. We just don't know exactly what they are yet. We might see some of that. I don't think they'll touch too much on it because the competitive Siege is kind of a more niche aspect of Ubisoft's like repertoire. So if they do show it off, maybe we get a little bit. The new ops come out like this week, like during the conference. So
yeah, exactly.
Maybe they'll show them off, but because Siege is still like a really popular game. Like even on Steam, it gets like a bunch of concurrent players.
Yeah, Siege would be cool, but I just don't really know what we could expect for that because we like get the new ops as they come. But I wouldn't be opposed to anything, obviously.
It's been an E3 before, so who knows?
That's fair.
We're probably going to get a Just Dance. Don't forget about that.
Oh, are we going to have people dancing on stage?
But the question is, are we getting a Wii version?
We better.
Yeah, if the Just Dance 2020 is not on Wii, I will be upset.
No, you won't.
No, I won't. It's a fun trivia thing, though, that the last Wii game came out in 2019 as of right now.
So yeah, that's, I think, pretty much it for Ubisoft, unless anyone has anything quick.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to mention about Limited Run, now that I thought about it, wouldn't it be cool if in some way they got like limited releases of, I don't know on what console, of like dead WiiWare games?
That could be cool, just because like, of course, with Wii Shop being down, a lot of those games are going to be
They're just gone.
lost.
Yeah.
That would be kind of interesting licensing-wise, so maybe. That's a good thought.
I mean, they are going back and releasing PS3 games, so it's not out of the realm.
Exactly.
Very true. But yeah, next on the agenda is Big Daddy Square-Enix.
Square-Enix?
I honestly don't really have too much to talk about with Square. The main focus... Well, there's only the one big thing that I'm hyped for, and that's Final Fantasy VII Remake. I hope we get any sort of release update. I hope we get any sort of trailer. If they even utter the words, it'll be the highlight of my Square conference.
Okay. I'm taking control of this thread right now then, because I am the Square Enix fanboy among the group of us.
They're probably going to announce a Dragon Quest.
Yeah, they'll probably announce a Dragon Quest. Well, we already know that there's a Dragon Quest coming on Switch.
Is that 11 or...
I don't remember.
Heroes?
Yeah,
well,
like that.
I know Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Yeah, Dragon Quest Builders 2 is coming, and you said you liked the first one.
I liked the first one.
Yeah, but they confirmed already that we are getting official details about what they're calling now Marvel's Avengers, which was known as Avengers Project until now. And that is an example of don't talk about things too early, because they announced that like so long ago.
Do you think they missed their inopportune window because we're already outside of like the endgame hype window?
Absolutely.
I think
their ideal window would have been like a year ago, but
no, I think they still have the buzz from.
Oh, they still have the buzz, but like I feel like it would have been bigger.
I disagree.
You don't think so?
No, I think the endgame hype makes more people want to play it.
Well, the endgame hype does, but if it had been out when endgame was out, their sales would have been better.
Yep. Quick follow-up. Do you think that the Marvel's Avengers project is going to be with, like, the character likeness from, like, the MCU? Or do you think they're going to use more of a likeness of, like, comic adaptations of the characters?
MCU.
It'll be... Because it's Square-Enix, it'll be a bit of a mix of both, but they're going to try to liken it to the MCU, but they'll probably have, like, changeable suits or whatnot, so you could have like 30s Iron Man and
for sure, that's like a Marvel game staple at this point.
Right, exactly. That's a superhero game staple at this point.
Another thing to bring up is that when we get to Nintendo, we'll touch on it, but Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is going to be playable. Yeah. So we're going to have two different like Avengers quote unquote games that'll be at E3 this year.
Well, knowing Square Enix, it'll be like initial details and won't actually be coming out for like another 2 years.
You think?
But I don't know. It's been a while at this point, and I think they kind of learned their lesson from like overhyping things, like with Kingdom Hearts 3 and whatnot.
Kingdom Hearts 4 when?
Please soon, but it won't be.
It's gonna be even worse.
They're gonna. Well, I think they're gonna talk about Kingdom Hearts 3. They're probably gonna announce like the first paid DLC.
I feel like it's too late, honestly.
No, it's not.
Kingdom Hearts came out like how many months ago? And
months ago, not years ago.
Only 5 months.
Did I say years?
No, I'm just saying like.
No, it's only been 5 months. It's not.
I mean, I guess, but I don't know. I feel like for me at least, like I like Kingdom Hearts, not as much as Ryan, but I like Kingdom Hearts. I feel like I'm kind of already done Onion Rings with Kingdom Hearts 3, even though it was like a huge like road to get that game.
Oh yeah,
it was still enjoyable. But I feel like nothing else would really want to draw me back to
you wasted
pay.
$60.
I wouldn't say waste $60. I had a great time with the game, but I think the game got me everything I needed.
Listen up. I did not waste $60. I wasted $80.
No, you wasted 13 years.
No, but they have confirmed that paid DLC and non-paid DLC is coming to Kingdom Hearts 3. We've already gotten the first big update, which was Critical Mode. So We're not done with Kingdom Hearts 3 by a long shot. I think they'll probably milk it throughout this year and then probably announce whatever Nomura has next, because
it's
like,
Final Fantasy VII Remake. I want that man to focus on nothing but...
I meant Kingdom Hearts 3 wise, but yes, he also... We got a gameplay trailer for Final Fantasy VII Remake, which was unexpected to say the least, but that was great.
Do you think they're going to keep Final Fantasy VII Remake as an episodic release for the game? It's been met with much criticism online.
Not, because if they're going to do an episodic release, don't make it a full $60 game.
The only way I see it to be something I would really enjoy
they're charging $60 for a remake of a game?
Probably.
Well, okay, side tangent for that. This is way more than just your average remake. This is like legit like a genre difference in this game. So I don't care about the pricing.
Yawn.
Whatever. But anyway.
They're rebuilding the game, like, from scratch.
Yeah. If they do an episodic thing, I really like the idea because the game's on 3 discs originally. Have each disc be one of the I guess parts of it. So it's a 3-part
That's
thing.
what people have said, but disc 3
is very short. So
disc 3 is literally endgame stuff.
As I say that doesn't sound as cool, but
I thought that too. But at the same time, like, I don't think the episodic model for a game like that would really work. Like, yes, it works for Life is Strange, but that's like... But that's different.
How many people waited until that game was out and completely done? Raise his hand.
Yeah, exactly.
But Final Fantasy VII, I can't wait for that.
No, and like that's the other thing is if it's gonna be like a 3-episode thing, then I don't want them to make me wait an absurd amount of time between each episode, which Nomura does, and he's pissed off Square before because he's a perfectionist. So they're gonna be like, no, get the game done.
Yeah. Another thing about Square I want to touch on real quick is that the Secret of Mana collection, basically, being a patent for that, possibly coming out, because the Mana series has that collection on Switch in Japan already. Possibly maybe we'll get it in the States, especially because people have been begging for it.
If it's out in Japan, then it's likely we're going to get it here.
Yeah, especially because of Sengen Daitsetsu 3. Apologize for my terrible pronunciation. I can't speak Japanese.
Yeah, you got it close enough.
Everyone knows what I mean.
We're white.
So we'll get that, hopefully, because people have been wanting that for a while.
We're white. You're not.
Sorry.
This is a podcast. You can't do hand gestures.
Yeah, fair enough. I was gesturing to me and Will.
That's pretty much all I got for Square. Just Final Fantasy VII, gimme.
Yeah.
The big thing now is...
Big Daddy
Nintendo. Now, the thing I want to mention about Nintendo... Well, let's touch on Smash at the very end. But...
Here's my thing. Switch Pro and Switch Mini are going to be announced. Both of them. Yes.
At a direct, though? Do we know how
Yes.
long the direct's going to be? Because they have a lot to cover
45
this year.
minutes.
Because
Then no.
we already know Luigi's Mansion 3, Pokemon Sword and Shield, and Marvel Ultimate Alliance are all going to be playable on the floor. I'm
don't
sure we'll
think-
get content for that, at least a little video or something.
Given what we just got, 4 days ago, I don't think we're going to get any more Pokemon news, except for,
The
maybe...
team, the enemy team, is what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I kind of hope for
A
that.
little
But,
plot teaser.
I don't really expect much for Pokemon because we just got, a 6-minute, direct specifically for that.
That could have been... That's, good point. Maybe strategic release, so to Edwin's point, to have the Switch Pro and Mini announced.
Maybe.
If that's going to happen.
I don't think that's going to happen. But that's just me.
Switch came out in 2017. It's been about
Correct.
2 years.
It's been 2 years.
It's
That's
not
usually-
out of the question.
That's usually when they do redesigns, especially for
Yeah.
handhelds.
It's not out of the question. I just personally don't see them doing it because I don't see why they would do it.
Do you think a Switch Mini would be more so in the line of a 2DS or
Yeah,
aimed towards
because
young
they're going to
children?
officially discontinue the 3DS line
Yeah.
in slew to support more of the Switch.
Right.
Which they basically already have done. Is there anything pending for release for 3DS still?
Persona Q2 just came out.
Oh, you're
I
right.
just
You're right.
picked that up.
You're right. Forgot about that. But
Physical wise, nothing else.
right.
Of course, the big thing I'm looking forward to for Nintendo is Animal Crossing. I need that game now. I know it's coming out this year. Boy, that better come out this
What
summer.
if they announce
probably
it
gonna
for
be-
next month?
Take as much gosh darn time as you need if that's the case, but I'm going to be angry.
It's probably going to be a September release, in my
Of
opinion.
course.
I want it.
And then,
if
speaking
they,
about around September, Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah,
is that
that's-
September? Is that confirmed?
No,
Does it have to
October.
legit- Okay.
Yeah. No, yeah.
That's what I'm guessing it would be released.
It makes sense, honestly.
I don't know if that's coming this year necessarily,
Probably.
but we're going
I
to get
don't remember
news
if
about
it
that.
had a teaser date.
I don't
2019.
remember.
It did it. Neither did Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing had
No, Animal
2019.
Crossing did.
It legit
Did
had
it?
2019.
It did say 2019.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure.
No, it did. I
That's
checked.
Tom Nook.
But Luigi's Mansion 3, we'll definitely get details
Game
about.
franchise.
Bring back Portrait Ghosts, please.
Please. It seemed like from the brief teaser we got from it that they corrected from Dark Moon. Not to say Dark Moon was bad, it was just it was not the same.
Yeah.
It was, I played it and I was like, good, I'm done. I'm not going to go back to that.
Me
All
with
right.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Well,
Game
that's fine.
announcements. I think we're gonna get a new Pikmin and
Pikmin 4, finally?
Pikmin. I think Pikmin Universe.
Pikmin
And-
Universe.
Well,
What is that?
a while ago, it was leaked that a Pikmin game called Pikmin Universe was going to come out for Switch on Best Buy's website.
MMO?
Maybe.
It's gonna be like an MMO.
That'd be cool, but
Would be cool.
the game franchise I want more than anything is F-Zero.
I do too, but I honestly, unfortunately, doubt it.
Nintendo has famously said that the reason they haven't done an F-Zero is because they can't really think of any new idea to bring to the series. But I don't think that's necessarily anything you need to worry about when the core gameplay is still very solid.
Yeah.
So
Just give us one
But
on
it's
a modern
Nintendo,
console.
they just want to put gimmicks.
Yeah.
Oh, we're probably going to get a new Labo.
Yeah, probably.
New
the VR
cardboard.
one has been kind of getting some traction. They've been talking
Yeah,
about.
so many games have been getting freaking VR updates.
I can't imagine playing Breath of the Wild in that Labo though. I feel like I would. be
No,
too much
if
for me.
we're
It doesn't even have a head strap.
no,
Does it? How do you wear it and play then?
you
I mean,
can
the Virtual Boy doesn't have a head strap.
you can
That's true.
get one kind of, but it's it's the Google Cardboard was made as a joke and Nintendo took it seriously. So I'm just please release an actual plastic one that I can mount to my head if I'm going to do this because I do not want
Right.
to
Maybe that's what the new Labo is. It's just a stand.
yeah.
Do we want to talk about everyone picking one character they want for a Smash DLC?
Banjo.
Let's save that for the end.
Okay. Is there anything else with Nintendo we want to talk about?
Oh yeah, I got a lot of stuff. So,
Oh no, he's going to mention Fire Emblem.
I am going to mention Fire
Oh,
Emblem.
boy.
I wasn't going to mention it now, but I guess now I am.
Oh boy.
We're probably going to get final details for Three Houses because that's coming in July. And I just one thing about that game, it's basically Fire Emblem Harry Potter because you choose your house. It's funny, and I love Fire Emblem, so it's going to be great. It better be. Please be great. But other than that, about 2 years ago at this point, we got the announcement for Metroid 2 Remake. So,
On 3DS.
yeah, on 3DS. And at the very end of that game, spoiler
Metroid
warning,
Prime 4.
I don't think so.
Because they
Yeah.
were we basically have to restart development. I don't think we're going to hit anything for it. But
Granted, last time we got anything for it, we got a JPEG and an MP3, so Maybe.
I want to know what Retro Studios is working on.
Yeah.
Because I believe
F-Zero.
the leaks were saying
It'll
it was something
probably-
like some sort of like scary, spooky game.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not
Eternal
doing
Darkness,
Prime 4.
please.
That would be amazing. I would trust
they're not
Retro with
doing
that
they're
IP.
not doing Prime 4, but you know what I think they might be working on is the finale to the Donkey Kong Country Returns trilogy.
That would be fantastic.
Or they need to have a finale. They need to have a trilogy for that because Tropical Freeze was incredible. Returns was incredible. Give me like a big bang finale
And put the Kremlins in them.
Put the Kremlins in it. Thank you. Like, I don't dislike what they did with the enemies, but I miss the Kremlins.
Especially with K. Rool and Smash now, like, more casual people kind of have more awareness of who he is.
Yeah,
so.
for sure. But at the very end of Metroid Prime, or not Metroid Prime, sorry, the Metroid 2 remake, spoiler warning, by the way, it showed an X-Parasite possessing one of the things, which if you know, that's Metroid Fusion.
Yeah. So the reason for that is because I forget the name of the studio, Mercury, I think.
Yeah.
They initially pitched for Nintendo to do a Fusion remake.
Right. I know the reason,
Yeah.
and like
So they did that teaser because they're passionate about Fusion,
and they
if
wanted
Nintendo
to
would
drive
allow
the
them to
hype.
do it, I would love it because Fusion's a great game. I don't think that game needs a remake as much as 2 did.
2 was dated as hell. Fusion, I feel like if given the same treatment and brought to Switch, could be like really good. Because Fusion had some issues with like holding your hand. If they take that away, or like to a degree, it'd be a really good game. And it would look fantastic on the Switch.
Yeah.
Like, imagine fighting SAX.
Link's Awakening, I believe, is also going to be playable here.
Oh yeah, we're definitely getting
How
a
does
new trailer for
everyone
that.
feel about the art style? I know it's been getting some criticism online. I, for one,
It's
am a
cool.
fan.
It's cool.
I think it's good because it's different.
With Zelda games, the art style never bothers me. This one just kind of took me a little by surprise when I first saw it. And I know why they did it, because it's based off of the pictures from the original game. And Link's Awakening, for me, was literally the first game that I picked off of a shelf for myself. Like, literally said, like, I want this one. And, like, thought it would be cool. And I was right. So it holds a very special place for me. And the fact that they're remaking it is exciting. But I don't think it'll be bad gameplay-wise. But the art does look a little odd. But I think it'll still hold up well enough for me to forget about that.
I think it definitely fits the theme of the game for sure. Because that game is so out there.
It does, but I kind of wanted them to like use the Link Between Worlds graphics because that would match up a little bit better. Especially given that we got like a anime trailer for it, more or less, like animated. And he looked significantly different than that art style. That's my only grief, is I'm just like, you show this and then you show this and they're very different.
Nintendo, if you're listening, please make an original 2D Zelda game and stop just giving us remakes.
I thought you were going to say, please give us an anime based off of Legend of Zelda.
Do that too.
But because we had Link Between Worlds, which is basically a Link to the Past,
Yeah.
give or take.
Yeah.
And then this game, which is great, you know, that's like a Game Boy game, hasn't been remade before. I respect that. Link's Awakening's fantastic. But please, I'm begging you. 2D Zelda games I like more than the 3D ones. And I am begging for a new adventure.
Which
Yeah,
one are
give
there
me-
more of?
3D Zelda games.
Honestly, for me, 2D. I love the 2D games. I'm very good at them.
I'm just saying, which one are there more?
There's
more
way
2D
Oh,
games or 3D
are
games?
there more? I thought you said which ones do you like more? Yeah.
Probably 3D.
There's definitely more
Probably.
3D.
I mean, what, like Zelda 2? I don't know if I'm talking more of like the top-down Zelda
Man, what if
1
they
style.
announce a
Wand
Zelda
of
2 remake?
Gamelon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Zelda's
that counts as a 2D
Adventure.
Zelda. Maybe there are more 2Ds. Well, Nintendo, you know, you've been making a lot of 3D ones. Let's have some more
It was a
original
Hotel
2D
Mario
ones.
remake.
Man, what if they like we got Metroid
CDI
2
collection.
remake? What if we got a
Yes.
Zelda 2 remake?
If actually, that's a really good point.
Yeah, that would be great.
That
That
would be cool.
needs a remake.
That I would
It
like
does.
that.
It does not hold up. But the RPG elements, like I liked it. It's just like I got so bored with that game when I played it. But one other thing that I really want is I want Mario Odyssey DLC because I've already done everything I can do in that game.
That's a game I feel like is outside its DLC window. That came out last August? Like almost more than a year ago?
It was like a year and a half at this point.
July
Like,
or August. I'm really bad at remembering release dates.
it might be outside its DLC window, but if anything, like Galaxy around this time after its launch got Galaxy 2. So
Odyssey 2 announcement?
yeah, maybe. Like Because Galaxy 2 was basically just a DLC pack that was bundled into a game, and it was fantastic.
Shiggy never wanted to release Galaxy 2, but he had enough assets to work with.
Right. And, like, I feel like Mario Odyssey, could have that same, well, I'll call it a problem, but, like, I want more of that game, because it was such a great experience.
Okay. Let's talk about Smash. I want everyone to pick one character.
Banjo.
Okay, we know yours is Banjo. We get to everyone picks a character, even if it's like a real prediction or just a hope. Edwin's is Banjo. I think Banjo's a very solid pick.
Prediction.
That's a prediction.
That's not what I want, though.
Okay, well, who do you want then?
Chibi Robo.
Please. I would love that. Mine is... my hope is also my prediction, and it's Professor Layton. I think he has a very solid presence on Nintendo consoles. He can fence, he can has tea and a hat. He has a lot of assets for a moveset to be unique enough, and we don't have anything with Professor Layton. Like, there's no spirit or anything, so I think that's a better indication of a possible character. Mm-hmm. So, I would love that. I love Professor Layton. Even a new game, side note, if we get a new game, Catriel Layton ended on, like, a big cliffhanger and, like, radio silence, because Level 5 has sold their souls the Yokai Watch, so please, a new game would be great for Layton as well.
What I actually think will happen, I kind of agree with Edwin that Banjo will probably happen. I do actually believe the leak that we'll get Dragon Quest, because Dragon Quest is huge in Japan.
It is.
But, like...
What from Dragon Quest, though?
I don't know characters well enough to know that.
I think 6 or 7 is, like, the popular one.
They said,
maybe
like...
4?
The codename was Brave, and somebody was like, oh, that associates with this character. And I was like, cool, good luck to you. Like, I don't know Dragon Quest.
I'd still like Isaac.
I would love Isaac. I would love Waluigi, as much as that's a meme. But, like...
Travis for Smash?
Travis, honestly, maybe. But, the one character that I have wanted since Brawl is Geno. And I have been saying that...
I've given up on Geno.
I have too, but, like, I've been saying that since before the meme was a thing. But the thing about Smash DLC at this point, with Joker being added, literally nobody is out of bounds.
That was me when Cloud got announced.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it could be literally anyone.
Yeah.
So as much as I don't think Geno's gonna happen, I would still be pleasantly surprised. I would be pleasantly surprised, Lordy, if Geno were to come out.
The one thing that I actually legitimately hope does not and never happens is Goku.
Waluigi.
Oh, God.
I do not want anime in Smash.
That's too much of a meme, like Shrek and all that. That's not going to happen.
No, Shrek's never going to happen. As funny as that would be. But, like, I do not want Goku in Smash. It would just be, like... I just don't want that.
I mean, you look at something like Tekken, where they...
Smash.
Like, Tekken has, like, Negan from The Walking Dead and Noctis and stuff. So,
yeah... Tekken and Soul Calibur have the weird crossovers.
So I feel like we're in a day and age where anything could go. As much as I would not like that, I don't think Nintendo would be the one to do something that out there.
Smash Bros. Will stick to video game characters, I think.
For sure. But yeah, if that's going to be it for Nintendo, that's kind of it for the conferences here. A couple things I just wanted to touch up on at the end here is the big absence, the big elephant in the room here, or I guess the lack of the elephant in the room, is that Sony announced that they are not having a conference. This is the first year in E3 history Sony's not having an official conference.
Or anything.
As of this recording, no State of Play has been announced. State of Play is like Sony's version of Nintendo Directs they've been teasing recently. They've had a couple, and they've been kind of lackluster, but it's huge announcement season. Everyone's expecting Last of Us 2. I know we just did get a lot of not Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding news.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima, though, is something that's supposed to be coming out on PS4. All the rumors about the PS5, like Mark Cerny did a big interview about updates in the architecture of the development of the PS5.
Well, they legitimately confirmed the PS5 is a thing, and they're just here's what we're doing.
It's only a matter of time when they release it.
It's not like it's a secret. We all know they're going to constantly be developing consoles.
But that's why they're not going to be here, because they have a lot of their development team working on launch software for the PS5.
I feel like this generation, Sony's kind of going to go out quietly, and then when PS5 hits, it's going to be a bang of a lot of content.
I want The Last of Us 2 this year, though. Like, it's been long enough. Like, just release the game.
They already confirmed at least that Death Stranding will still be a PS4 release.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be something that, if, let's say, PS4 comes out 2020, like people are saying, do you think
PS5,
Death Stranding... I'm sorry, yeah, PS5 in 2020. Do you think that Death Stranding would also be a launch title for the system?
Well, because it runs off of the Decima engine, which was also used for Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a really technical engine. I believe that's why Kojima himself chose to use that engine for Death Stranding.
Okay.
That's a good point. I did not know that.
I don't know technical background about that, but like...
I will say, though, with the PS5 real briefly, Mark Cerny, the guy who did the architecture for the PS4 and for the Vita, is like the head developer of that console. And I know they've pushed a lot about trying to have it be backwards compatible with PS4. If it does it physically, I think it's going to be a huge, big bonus.
If it does it physically, I might actually, like, burn through my backlog of stuff because I've been, like...
Exactly.
I haven't, like, played a lot of the PS3 stuff I want to because setting up my PS3 is a chore.
If Sony does have any sort of state-of-play presence, what's one thing that everyone would want them to announce? Mine is a new Sly Cooper.
Are we talking new?
These are hopes. These are like, if Sony is there and if they announce anything new, what would your dream be? Mine is a new Sly Cooper.
I just want them to drop the price of VR so I can get into it.
I think that's going to be happening because
that's actually what kind of surprised me too. Because PlayStation VR, like I kind of thought they were going to announce like the new generation of that at E3 this year, and then they were like, "We're not having a thing," and I was like, "Why not?"
They might be saving that for PS5,
Maybe.
Which, if that is the case. A, I hope the older PSVRs are compatible with PS5, and B, to Edwin's point, it drops the price of PSVR because I want.
Well, when the new model comes out, it will.
Well, for sure, but like if it's a situation where like the 5 comes out and there isn't a new PSVR at launch,
it'll probably be compatible. I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Yeah,
not only that, my big prediction, well, not prediction, but my big want is for Sony to announce a new handheld, but that's highly unlikely.
Yeah, Nintendo's kind of dominating the handheld market at this point. But, yeah, I would want a new Ratchet series, Ratchet and Clank, because PS4, we got the movie tie-in, and then everything else just kind of came and went.
With Spider-Man, I'm sure Insomniac has enough assets to do whatever they want at this point.
We're not getting Spider-Man 2 for a little while.
I'm sure we aren't, but if they were to make something in between releases, I think Ratchet's a good point because they've constantly been making those games and they've been relatively successful still.
Oh, I love all of them. Like they're very repetitive at like if you binge them, but they're good and like Up Your Arsenal is still my favorite because it added a ton of like side stuff to do.
Going back on Ratchet and Clank, I don't think that was a movie tie-in.
Wasn't it supposed to be?
Wasn't the movie supposed to be based on the 2016 game?
It's a remake,
reboot?
yeah.
No, it's a remake, but that it was supposed to like tie in with the movie. Like it was
the game came out a while before the movie did.
Right, but the movie is based on that game.
Exactly.
That's what I mean. Like the movie game.
Did anyone here see the movie?
Yeah.
My brother did.
I didn't even know it was in theaters.
Oh, wait. I did watch it on Netflix. Yeah.
It's on Netflix?
Yeah.
What am I doing here?
It was on Netflix. I don't know.
I think
Netflix rotates stuff off so quickly. I don't know what's on.
It may or may not be on Netflix.
It was at one point, and that's where I watched it. Like, it was...
Probably still is. It's fine.
Like a decent kids
It was
movie.
Forgettable. But, like, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. That's my main hope is the... Sony actually does some sort of state of play. I would love more companies following the Nintendo Direct model because there's just so much hype behind that. And even having like intermediate like announcements throughout the year in the Direct style, I think is great. But moving on from Sony, the last thing I did want to touch on as like an optional point is information with Bandai Namco. So as of this recording about a day or two ago, the entirety of Bandai Namco's announcements got leaked and were posted on like 4chan and Twitter and everything. So spoiler warning, if people do care about spoils, that's one thing I do want to kind of have a discussion about.
First thing I want to ask, do you think they're real?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. There's proof, like beyond proof that it's going to happen.
There is. Because I personally have not really looked into them that much. I know some of them, but I don't know like all the details that went into them because I was busy yesterday.
Yeah. But if people do care about spoils about it, we'll be talking about Bandai Namco for a while. There was a really interesting thread going on Twitter with one of the Kotaku head editors, Jason Schreier. I do apologize for the mispronunciation if I did so, but he was basically doing a point about how Kotaku reported on what the leaks were, and people getting mad saying, oh, you just spoiled E3. Do you guys think that leaks and people like Kotaku reporting on these leaks can constitute as a quote-unquote spoil?
They definitely... No, they are a spoiler. It's like... For me, though, I don't know how much I care because, like, I'm always skeptical around E3 season. Like,
for sure.
Always. Because every year without fail, those, like, schedule things come out that have, like, all the leaks of everything that's gonna come out, and like 90% of them are fake because it's like you throw enough crap at the wall, one thing's bound to stick.
That's totally true.
So, like, yeah.
But it's when someone like a reputable game source like Kotaku reports on a leak, that's when you know it has some more validity to it. So I can understand people's frustration with them about those articles they posted.
I don't know how they did the article, but if they're going to report on leaks, they should properly label it first and be like, if you don't want to know anything,
I believe they did. I believe they just said, well, like, of course, because they're a company that got a marketing like, oh, like XX and X got announced. Do you guys care about the spoilers, or can I talk about what
No, go ahead.
Do you care
Spoiler
about
warning for anybody listening.
Okay.
If you don't want to know the Bandai Namco spoilers, stop listening here.
So basically what got announced was a couple of things. Ni no Kuni remake on Switch.
Which I will buy.
Which I understand is their PS3 version is already a remake. So it's a remake of a remake.
It's a remake
Wasn't
of
it
DS.
It was a DS game,
So I've never played that game. I would be buying it on Switch. The other thing that got announced that was
basically
huge,
Ghibli meets Pokemon.
Yes,
to put it very simply.
Ghibli did do the and it helped with the. Did they help with the animation, or are they just like doing all?
They
the
did
art
all the animation.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Was it Miyazaki himself, or just like the studio?
No, because he hates anime fans.
Miyazaki was, quote, retired at this point.
I see. But that got announced. The other big thing was the next game in the Tales series of RPGs,
which I'm actually not surprised about.
I don't play them. I don't know anything about
them. Took them long enough.
They're very good.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that got leaked from that, and I'm blanking on it now because I didn't make note of it what it was. There was a third thing. But basically their whole like announcement line got leaked. And those are the two big things that came out. Yeah. The other thing that got leaked as well was the reveal, quote-unquote reveal, of what the From Software and George R.R. Martin title is.
Yes.
For those who don't know, From Software, the Dark Souls boys, they were going to be making a game in collaboration with a story and concept from George R.R. Martin of Game of Thrones. We have a
It's
title...
not supposed to be Game of Thrones, though.
Correct.
It's one of his... Yes, he wrote Game of Thrones, but he actually wrote a lot of stuff before that, and he's spoken in interviews like in length about these other stories and like stuff. So
yeah, it's a brand new original idea. I don't remember the name off the top of my head. I didn't make note of it because From Software games are hard for a little babby boy me, so I don't really play them.
Yeah.
But it looks neat. It's a new story. I'm just like, Martin, can you just write Wins a Winner, or are you just going to be doing everything else with your life?
Wins a Winner is actually done. Like, he's submitted that to his editor.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm not believing that until I'm holding it in my hands.
Well, no. Okay. He has written Winds of Winter.
Okay.
It is not done because it's in the hands of his editor.
Okay.
So, he's done with Winds of Winter for now.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
basically... Slight tangent.
A lot of like things kind of get leaked out before E3 happens. Another big thing, I didn't touch on it at the time, but the Cyberpunk 2077 box art got revealed. Do you guys care about spoilers for what that looks like?
I mean, this is an audio recording.
Yeah, it's super generic. Like, if you guys know the Witcher 3 box art, where it's literally just like Geralt, like just standing there, like torso up. It's the same exact thing of like the main character torso up, just a plain yellow background. It looks so boring.
Then it's probably not real in all honesty.
But it looks...
It's probably real because most game art's boring nowadays.
But it got... I mean,
Cyberpunk, though, I expect something like kind of extravagant.
You would think, but I mean, looking back at their previous box art information, I mean, it looks real. It wasn't just a picture of the art itself, it was a picture of like what comes with the standard edition.
I see.
So it looked like a press photo. Yeah, that came out. So there were a lot of interesting leaks been coming out throughout the day. Especially there's been a lot of discourse on Twitter about spoiler culture. I, for one, think E3 it's top when you're there for the element of surprise.
I agree. I like being surprised. Like, I won't get angry about finding out the Bandai Namco stuff because Ni no Kuni on Switch, that kind of gets me a little excited. It's kind of like wetting my palate a little bit. Like, I'm not gonna get like annoyed that we got some of these leaks, but yeah.
So that's pretty much everything that I have prepared in terms of discussion points. Was there anything from any conference, any game series, anything you guys wanted to bring up as we close with E3?
I brought up everything already.
There's definitely a lot to cover, so we probably forgot a lot of things, and we're going to be like, oh man, I can't believe I didn't talk about like some X.
We've been talking for the past like hour about everything else. Yeah. So I mean,
so thanks for listening, by the way.
Yeah.
If you guys have any sort of crazy predictions or want to point out something we totally forgot to talk about, like the new Madden game, you can just leave us a comment.
No, we talked about Madden.
We talked about FIFA.
No, he said Madden.
Oh, you said Madden?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
We're covered. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah. So we didn't miss anything. Don't worry about it.
Feel free to tweet at us.
Yeah.
At Midshelf Gaming.
Definitely go ahead and check us out on Twitter at Midshelf Gaming. Ryan, where can we find you online?
You can find me at Midshelf Ryan on Twitter.
Great. And Edwin?
I pretty much use the Midshelf Twitter.
That's fair. You can find me at SwooshXBear on Twitter as well.
Wait, Edwin, I know for a fact you don't use the Midshelf Twitter. I know for a fact that your Twitter handle is at Elon Musk.
No. Not anymore.
Not anymore? Okay,
No.
you changed it.
He sold it to that other guy who asked for it.
Yeah.
You could make a fair amount of money if you would.
Absolutely.
That's a whole other discussion. That's a really weird thing, but...
Anyway, thanks for listening, guys, and have a good E3, and take care.
I will miss you, Sony.
Later.